show to beat dictator.
All right, it starts. 1, 2, 3, 4. McCracken about it with Brian the Bassturd. You watching the show? McCracken about it with Brian the Bassturd. You watching the show? Wow, that sounded right when I first played it. You're watching the show. Alright, whatever. Hey, everybody! Hey, everyone! Welcome to the show! Brian? I'm Brian. Okay. Alright, then. Go? I'm right here. I'm getting a thing for us to put our junk in together.
Alright, let's do it.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the show. I'm Brian, and that's Sam. And we're gonna.
You the pumpkin seeds. Okay.
We got a show for you tonight. We got a light show for you tonight. Halloween is in a couple of days, and tomorrow is Brian's birthday.
Yeah.
And he's finally gonna be 9 years old. But he still acts like he's 7. Anyway, where's my list? We got a light show for you tonight. We got our pumpkins right here.
Fucking stupid show for you.
No, it's not stupid.
Don't watch this shit.
We got our pumpkins for you right here. We got our pumpkins right here, and we've got some stuff to talk about. And we're just gonna really, tonight's it's a light show because we've got our pumpkins and
we're just hanging out.
And there's not a lot happening in the world, and we're just hanging out. So
it was a very slow news night. Now we have newspaper down on the table, so maybe we were thinking as you do the news, just read off the table.
Yeah, that might happen. Anyway, before we start anything, we'd like to show you something. Brian, talk.
This is just I actually.
I was up in the morning with the TV blaring, brushed my teeth, sitting watching the news. All the beaches were closed, the ocean was a Red Sea, but there was no one there to part it in two. There was no fresh salad, cause there's hypers in the cabbage. Staten Island disappeared at noon.
Someone somewhere did these installations of giant. You know where it was? There were dinosaurs.
No. Hang on, I'm finding it right now. I'm sorry.
Full-sized dinosaurs made of carved pumpkins. So there's a Triceratops, it's kind of the main one.
Hang on, I haven't pulled it up yet. Here we go. Hang on, wait, stop talking.
Sold the Empire State to Japan.
Okay, go ahead.
Like individual bones out of sorry, totally spaced out.
Good job.
It's a dinosaur made of pumpkins, guys.
It's a dinosaur made of pumpkins, and it's cool because they have all the bones carved out in the pumpkins. That's what's carved into the pumpkins. So that's why it's cool. So there's a
that's a Dimetrodon.
Dimetrodon, thank you. And there is a Pteranodon, and there's a T-Rex right there. So it's pretty cool. Getting in the Halloweeny mood with the most terrifying things you can imagine. Giant lizards that could eat your face off.
And at that, we're gonna get going right to work on our own pumpkins. What are you making, Sam?
I'm gonna make a classic. I'm gonna make a classic pumpkin this year because I feel that the pumpkins have gotten too complicated. And it's cool. They look cool, but I'm going back to basics. I want it to be simple, just simple. What are you gonna do, Brian?
I'm making Hank Hill.
So you're doing a face too.
Yeah.
That's good.
Really a whole head. More so than just a face. I hope it kind of works. Where'd my pen go? Well, thank you.
So anyway, we're just gonna do the show while we carve the pumpkins. Things that are happening in the world right now. The Red Sox.
Oh, literally right now.
Literally right now, the Red Sox are playing Game 5 against the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. And this is why I brought you a Sharpie.
No, but I want this will like rub off better.
They're playing St. Louis in Game 5 in St. Louis right now, and it's tied 1-1 last time I checked. And this is a very interesting World Series because, first of all, it's hilarious that the Red Sox are back in the series with the Cardinals. Because in 2004, after the Red Sox when the Red Sox won the World Series for the first time in many, many years, they were playing the Cardinals, and they swept them in 4 games. And they're not sweeping them this time, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. What is interesting about all these baseball games is how weird they are. The first 2 games were fairly normal, still very tense, and ended very crazily. But the third game ended on an obstruction because the St. Louis Cardinal dude was running in, and the ball was thrown to home, and there was a fight about whether he was safe or not. Because the umpire called safe, but I'm pretty sure he was not safe. And then he called it, and like people were fighting it, and then he called on other umpires to make a call, and apparently it was held up, and the Cardinals won. And then last night's game, even crazier, but awesome because the Red Sox won. They won on a tag out at first base. Do you know this?
No, I didn't watch the game last night.
Uehara checked the
doing
first
something
base.
stupid.
Checked first base. Checked the runner at first and got him out. And they got him out at first base.
That's
and that
really
was
cool.
the end of the game. Crazy. Both of those games, first time things to happen in postseason. First time that they would end a game in postseason ever. Very crazy. So baseball is happening, and I'm really hoping that
Happening quickly and
and
destructively and
I'm really hoping good things happen. But I think that they will. Also in the news, this isn't really news, but I just want to talk a little bit about how much the Pope is cool.
yeah. We've been really keeping you guys updated on the Pope because we're a big fan of the new Pope. He's really kind of groovy.
Yeah, he's a groovy dude. He's a cool man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that we're so into this guy because
he's the Pope.
he symbolizes so much of what we dislike about so many things. Not religious, not religion itself, but sort of
for me, religion
structure of the church. Well, religion is a thing that exists. Satanism is a religion too, Brian.
Yeah.
And but this Pope dude, he's just doing a really good job. And one of the things I read most recently was that he, well, I don't know if it was he, but he called for the investigation into this. Was he Austrian or German or something Pope that was Cardinal that was spending tons of money on ridiculous things like fancy cars and like gold encrusted robe stuff. And
How's
stuff.
that looking?
That looks pretty good. How are you going to carve it out, though?
I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Anyway, so, he's doing a lot of cool things. He's upsetting a lot of Catholics, which is cool.
Good. Fuck him.
Because he wants Catholicism to be hip, Hip and cool for the youngsters.
He's a hip new young Pope.
Yeah, and so that's what's up with that.
Just on that note, we were watching the Dalai Lama speak last night.
Yeah, I frequently go on YouTube and look for Dalai Lama sort of seminars because they're just so enjoyable.
The Dalai Lama's super cool. I learned that he's a Marxist.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He is. He is a Marxist.
I'm all about that kind of thing.
He's a Marxist, and
I think I might bail on Hank Hill. I don't think I did the proper prep work.
Oh, Brian. Did you ever?
Yeah, I'm gonna doodle on this a little bit before I do it. So yeah, the Dalai Lama. He's the Pope of Buddhism.
I mean, yes.
Oh, did we score?
Yeah.
Ballin'. Yeah, the Red Sox just scored.
Oh,
now.
Sweet. The Red Sox just scored, everybody. If you're not watching the game and this instead, because you're an idiot, we're telling you now, the Red Sox just scored, so you don't even have to watch the game. Idiot. Anyway, the Dalai Lama's a cool dude. He's got a lot of stuff going on. What I found most interesting about the Dalai Lama, I learned last night, was that he's talked about when he gets really old and when he knows he's going to die soon, he is going to talk to sort of the high Buddhist lamas and the Tibetan people and no doubt the Buddhist community worldwide about whether or not the institution of the Dalai Lama should continue. Because, hey, where are you going?
I'll be back in a second.
Whether or not the institution of the Dalai Lama should continue, because it's a very non-modern idea, this idea of the Buddha being reincarnated.
And we were just saying he's a hip dude.
And he is a hip dude, and that's exactly right. And
he's kind of like, guys, let's get with it.
He's very much realizing that Buddhism is changing, and religion itself is changing in the world, and has been. But Buddhism is based so severely in Eastern religion itself is based so severely in sort of spirituality and
rooted so firmly. Something a basis is not severe. That would be weird.
Okay, I don't care. In sort of spirituality and and philosophy and exploration and self-exploration and stuff like that. That it doesn't have to change very much, But just with the way politics work and stuff like that, and the way the world is, growing and getting smaller, it's becoming a very different thing. And so I think that he's realizing how much, not how little, but how that Buddhism may not need a Dalai Lama anymore. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
And I'm all about kind of, I don't know, like it. I wanna like that idea, but the Dalai Lama is so cool. It's like, why can't we have?
Well, what if the
Dalai
next
Lamas?
Dalai Lama isn't cool though? Is that I think.
Oh, he'll be a reincarnation of a cool guy, so he'll be cool.
Yeah, but I mean, what if there was a Dalai Lama earlier that wasn't cool?
I don't know.
I feel like that's the part you should be using Fridge Slayer for.
You guys know Fridge Slayer?
This is Fridge Slayer.
My knife killed a fridge once. This is an accident, or self-defense, or whatever was convenient at that time. But
I'm just gonna draw. I'm not pumpkin. Let's see. I'm gonna draw a mouth with some teeth.
hey, people, is anyone watching tonight? Is anyone commenting? No one's watching the show right now.
Hey, that's okay.
I'm gonna cut my fucking thumb off.
Don't do
I'm pretty
that.
positive that's gonna happen.
Just don't. Okay, well that's not how you do it.
How do you do it?
Magic. Anyway, in other news, everything else sucks.
Yeah, as we've discussed before on the show. Usually right before the show starts, we go, oh shit, we gotta do the news, and we have like three things that we check. They scored again. It's now 3-1 Red Sox. We'll go on like CNN and BBC and like NASA and like just regurgitate whatever we read there. And tonight we were just like, we don't want to read any of this shit. This is all stupid and sad.
Lots of people dying and lots of people being mad at other people for things that should be controllable. And
seems like every time you turn around, there's another hard-heard story that you're gonna hear.
Speaking of people being very sad, Lou Reed died yesterday.
Lou Reed died, guys. I want to be a singer like Lou Reed. I like Lou Reed.
Yeah, and that's a really big deal that he died. I think I drew my mouth too low. What do you think?
Yeah, if you have awesome eyes, you can get away with it.
Yeah. Anyway, Lou Reed. He died, and that's really, really sad because he was a super cool guy. And
we were playing you some Lou Reed. Was that his newer stuff?
Yeah, it was from 1989. I don't remember what it was called.
Not super old. In case you're a tool and you don't know who Lou Reed is, he was in the Velvet Underground, and then he wasn't in the Velvet Underground, but he was still awesome.
Yeah, he just continued to be awesome.
And he did, I mean, really kind of avant-garde rock and roll and some poppier stuff.
Poetry
and spoken word over music and all kinds of weirdness. And he was one of the great granddaddies of punk rock. Just in his sheer oddness. And how old was he? Wasn't that old?
He was in his 70s. He died of liver-related ailments. Most likely from excessive drinking.
Like a badass.
In the past. Which is sad, but that's the way things happen.
And, hey, man.
Hey,
to come out of that world and live to 70, you're pretty fucking lucky.
It's true. Anyway, Lou Reed died, and the world is worse off because of it. Anyway, also going on the show, we talked about all that stuff. Let's talk about the Avengers.
Yeah, hey, so Marvel is on its, of the Marvel movies that have been coming out for the past handful of years. They're now on, what are they calling it? Phase 2. Phase 2.
Yeah, and that's not news. They're making movies and stuff like that, and the Captain America trailer came out a couple days ago. That's what started all of this talking and thinking. The Captain America trailer, The Winter Soldier, came out a couple days ago, and it looks very dark. It looks very much like, it's about S.H.I.E.L.D. being sort of this jerky enterprise that's trying to control the world. With weapons and destruction and whatnot. And it looks like, Steve Rogers is going to be like he's going to have to counteract that in some way. Anyway, I was thinking about it, and I was chatting in some Facebook comments online and
blogging.
And well, I wasn't blogging myself, no. But I started developing some theories about what is going to happen. Because the next Avengers movie is going to be Age of Ultron, which is something that Marvel actually just did, this sort of Age of Ultron thing. I don't know if that's what the movie is going to be like. Age of Ultron in the comics was this world where Ultron literally takes over the world, and all the superheroes, like, everybody's dead, basically. And the superheroes are still trying to, but they're superheroes and they're still trying to fight Ultron. For those of you that don't know, Ultron is a robot, an artificial intelligence created by Henry Pym, who is the incredible, or Giant Man / Ant-Man / Yellow Jacket.
He just can't make up his mind. I hate it when superheroes.
Even when he's Yellow Jacket, he's just a big dude. Anyway, created by Hank Pym, and then it went evil, basically, and started killing people and stuff like that, and that's basically what happened. Anyway, hey Brian, what do you think?
That's looking pretty good. It's looking groovy.
Anyway,
show the people, show the world.
No, it's a surprise.
So Ultron, he sucks.
So Ultron is a bad guy. Anyway, that's what the second movie is going to be, and there's not a lot of speculation going on there because it's pretty straightforward. What's happening.
My pants.
But I'm more thinking about Phase 3 of Marvel. So in Captain America: The Winter Soldier trailer, Robert Redford is in it, and a lot of people are thinking that he's just going to be the next Red Skull. The Red Skull is going to be back, and he's going to have a new face, and it's going to be Robert Redford. I think something different. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? So,
shoot.
In the Marvel Universe, there's this really bad series that they did a little while ago called Secret Invasion. And Secret Invasion was about Skrulls, which are an alien race that for some reason hate Earth or something.
Like alien races.
Like alien races often do. About the Skrulls invading Earth in secret by impersonating a bunch of their superheroes and humans and stuff like that, but mostly superheroes, and then taking everybody out. That's basically what it was, and they had to fight them, and nobody could tell, nobody knew who was a superhero and who was a Skrull, and Anyway, it really kind of sucked.
Calm down, cat.
It really kind of sucked because it retconned a bunch of things. It brought a bunch of people back to life. It was way too big of a plot line with way too many characters coming right out of another big story and stuff like that. It just wasn't. It didn't work very well. But anyway, the point is, it's about these Skrulls invading Earth, and I think that
our cat's freaking the fuck out.
I think that that movie, Captain America, Robert Redford, is going to turn out to be a Skrull. That's what I think. I'm thinking the infiltration starts now, right? That's what I'm thinking. And Robert Redford is going to be a Skrull, and then at the end of that movie, they're going to find that out, and they're all going to be like, what? Who? What? Weird. Alien? What? And then the teaser at the end of Captain America is going to be like the Skrulls on ice, and then Nick Fury shows somebody like, oh my god, we've got all these other Skrulls in a freezer. We don't know what's happening, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Avengers 3 is Secret Invasion, and it ends with heroes dying left and right, and it starts 5 or 10 years in the future after the Avengers have been around for a little while. After Age of Ultron, after they really saved the world or something like that. They've been around for a while. People, respect them as Avengers, but at the same time, there's people in opposition against the Avengers and stuff like that. And it's a time when people's trust in the heroes is just starting to begin to fade because they're maybe they have too much power, and then Secret Invasion happens. And heroes are and there's also more heroes because there's just more heroes now, and we don't get to know them very well or anything. There's just more of them.
Well, you were explaining to me all the different fucking Avengers the other day.
Well, there are lots of Avengers teams.
That there was one in every state at one point.
It's true. The Avengers Initiative. There's also a kind of a Canadian Avengers called Alpha Flight, but they've been around for a long time. Anyway. Secret Invasion. So there's going to be more heroes, and then also there's going to be Skrulls everywhere, and lots of heroes die, and then the movie ends with, them coming out on top, and Captain America comes up over the pile of rubble, holding the American flag, and, the Hulk lays at his feet dead, and the Black Widow's dead, and Tony Stark has gone insane, but he saves them somehow, at the last second, his brain kind of pops back into place, and he gets to make some technological find, and Thor is banished to Asgard and never coming back to her. I don't know, something. And the movie ends with the dawning of the heroic age, which is after this period of semi-turmoil, these past years where people are starting to not trust heroes, and the Skrulls have invaded, and the world's been under attack so many times from so many different people. The humans realize that the heroes are cool. And the heroic age starts.
This is quite a specific and elaborate.
Yeah.
Fucking.
It all happened in the comics, though. I mean, kind of. The heroic age started in 2010 or 11 or something after Siege, which was after Thor came back to life after Civil War, kind of. He brought Asgard to Earth and found all the Asgardians and brought them back. And it was just floating in Oklahoma. The whole continent of Asgard is floating in Oklahoma.
The Asgard.
And then, bad stuff happened, and Norman Osborn took over the Avengers and made them into the evil Avengers, where he had, replacements for all the superheroes, but they were all villains. And then he tried to take over Asgard, and ultimately failed. And that was the end of Siege, and that was the dawning of the heroic age, and all that stuff then happened. So that's what I'm thinking. All this stuff happened in the comic books, but I'm thinking it could happen in the movies too if they play their cards right. And the reason I think it could happen, for those of you that know what I'm talking about, I think one of the reasons it didn't work in the comic books is because it was such a huge cast, and so many people were already dead. There were so many opportunities and there still are, and there will be forever, and there have been forever. There are so many opportunities for them to totally mess up the continuity. Especially when they do big events like this, when they're changing lots of things, or there's an expectation for people to die, or big reveals or big events happening that like severely affect the rest of the world. It's really, really easy to mess the continuity up. So I'm thinking though with the Avengers right now, it's a very small team, and we know the individuals. It's not about them existing in the world yet. It's still about them becoming a team. And Ultron is going to be, the second movie is going to obviously, just as second and third movies go, the second movie is going to be about them learning to sort of work more as a team, grow as a team. And then the third movie is going to be them being tested as a team. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
I don't know. I don't fucking know with this dude.
What else, Brian?
I don't know. I just hauled the pumpkin out.
And then what?
And then I don't know.
I decided to only use my hands today because I really want to feel the pumpkin. Hey, bring those over here, Lee. I really want to. No, not like that. I really want to see who the pumpkin is on the inside. I want to feel.
I'm that way with people.
I want to feel its insides.
When I do surgery, I never use gloves for that same reason.
Let's talk about pancakes.
Yeah. Pancakes are awesome. Jordan, what were the pancakes you made the other day? Would they have
apple cinnamon?
Apple cinnamon, and Jordan has the best pancake recipe. And then we got pancakes at our favorite diner the other day.
Yeah.
And those were really good. I'd never actually had their pancakes before.
I got blue corn pancakes, which are the best.
Yeah, Sam's a fan of blue corn.
I like blue corn.
I
feel like I'm digging out a hole in the sand. I'm like scraping bits off the side and then scooping them out.
Yeah, I hear it.
What's your favorite kind of pancake, Brian?
I mean, I dig on the chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip pancakes are your favorite?
Yeah, well.
What about like blueberry pancakes?
Blueberry pancakes are good. I like apple cinnamon pancakes a lot.
Yeah, those are good.
I like pancakes with shit that you shouldn't put in pancakes in them.
I
like Captain Crunch pancakes.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Also, like, it would hurt your teeth, though. Captain Crunch is the worst because it's delicious, but it tears your gums up. It's just evil.
There was a restaurant that we used to go to that had Captain Crunch. We still go there. And they still have it. Captain Crunch French Toast. I need a weird knife for this. Captain Crunch French Toast.
Steak.
And that's pretty fucked up.
Talk about Brad Neely.
Oh yeah, so I'm a big Brad Neely fan. I don't know if you guys know Brad Neely.
Who is Brad Neely?
Brad Neely, he made comics. And he made one-frame comics that were on the internet, and they were super kind of lo-fi.
Like, they look like they were made in paint.
Yeah, but they're really, really funny and surreal and weird. And then he said, what if, and Creased Comics was his group, and then he was like, what if you basically could guide how people went through your comics by actually having a video and like timing them like that.
Like an animation?
Like an animation, but they don't move. They're not animated. They're specifically not animated. They so his videos, his animations are actually these kind of single frames with no movement in them. But he kind of, because he's got control of the time, he can play with how much information you get. So there'll be like just these shits of information in these frames that you only see for like half a second. He did Baby Cakes and the Professor Brothers, and he had all these awesome characters. And then he started bringing them together in this one universe, and he did kind of like a pilot for a TV show called China, Illinois, using all his characters. And then Titmouse Studios picked it up, and it sucked.
Yeah.
And it was awful. And then that was no good. So then what happened was after a couple of years, he started making new characters. And he just started making, because he couldn't use any of his old characters because he sold them to Titmouse or whatever. I mean, he was still working for him. But basically, he just a few weeks ago, and this is the first time I've talked to this, made new characters. So you should care about Brad Neely, because he's awesome. And you should care about his new comics, which are better than they've ever been. And you should care about his new character, which is not bad. We'll see how it pans out. So go to creasecomics.com or Google Brad Neely or whatever and look at this shit. And you've probably already seen it. He was, he had a degree of popularity. I'm just ranting tonight.
Yeah.
Trying not to cut my fingers off.
Tonight is the rant show because we don't really have a lot to talk
I don't
about.
fucking care, guys.
Well, you should care.
I don't give a fuck.
I mean,
shit.
I mean, let's not say that because you're clearly on the show, so you do care somewhat. And if you don't, why are you doing the show?
I don't know. Don't ask me questions like that. Don't ask me questions I don't have answers for. This is hard.
Maybe you're trying too hard. Let's talk about Flash games.
Yeah.
There's a new Flash game that came out that was sort of released recently, and I'll talk about it a little bit. I mean, I'll pull it up a little bit later when I have a hand, but it's basically there's a performance artist that I can't remember her name, and a dude that likes her, and he made a game. A Flash game, it's like an adventure game or almost like a text adventure game, but there's no text. It's just sort of one of those. What do you call them? Where you don't type, but you just do
Point
stuff.
and click?
Yeah, not quite a point and click. Anyway, no, it's interactive. Anyway, it's basically this game where you're this person in a museum, and you have to go into the museum and sign a contract that you will play the game for a long time, or play the game throughout the whole
Wait,
thing.
in real life, you go and you sign the contract.
Well, no, I mean, it's just in the game.
In the game, you sign the contract.
It's a fake contract. You can quit the game whenever you want.
Okay, but the game that you're signing the contract to play is different than the game that you're actually playing.
No, you're
So
signing
in the game, you sign a contract to play the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's the start of the game. Anyway, this artist that he likes is a performance artist. And so basically, the game is you're going through a museum of her art, of her performance art. And it seems to be I think it's probably like a replication sort of museum of her performances or something like that. So I tried to play this game, and it sucks. And Brian, you should play it later. I want to show it to you because it's hilariously annoying. The first part of the game is you go into the orientation room, and you have to stand there and watch the entire instructions scroll in one line across the top of the screen as a person on a TV screen just goes blah 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 blah, and then you go to the next room, and the next room gives you instructions, and the instructions are
What's it called? This game?
I can't remember right now. I'll look it up later. The instructions are to walk. There's basically you're in a room that has a ramp, like a walking ramp, and shoot! I cut one of his teeth off. And the instructions are to walk up in slow motion by just tapping the right mouse key or the right arrow key.
Well, this sounds dumb.
Just do it as slow as possible, and you actually can't leave the room until the gong sounds. So basically, you can do it too fast, and if you do it too fast, you have to go back and do it again. And I gave up before I heard the gong. I was just like, wow, no, fuck this game, and I got out of there because it was so freaking annoying.
You bounced.
I did, and but I gotta kind of see. I am still very intrigued as to what else happens in this game because it was so dumb and slow.
Well, that's interesting because a big part of like other experimental medias, like experimental film, is about basically saying like we live in this fast-paced world, we take in media so fast, forcing yourself into a mindset where you're able to just sit and just take in something. And that hasn't been done with video games.
This isn't being. It's not taking in though. It's as if you're being slapped in the face with the performance art. You know what I mean? It's not.
That's what performance art does.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it's like. It was just slow and boring and it, kind of like praising something that shouldn't have been praised. And so I am tempted to try and play the game again to see if I can go slow enough to get to the second room because there's lots of rooms, and I don't know what the rest of the rooms even hold. But it got me thinking about like Flash games today and why they still exist. Well, not why they still exist, but like what sort of what they are now because they're so much different than when they started, but they're not because their purpose is still the same. These free games, these free expressions of sort of like a different sort of art form. That's really what they are. Is this new sort of way to express someone's creativity? And like think back to like 2005 when we had like the whole stick figure world. You know what I mean? Like all the stick figure stuff and what was going on there. Like that was unbelievably sort of deep.
Well, here's what I hear you saying, Sam. You're calling it an art form, and yet you're expecting it to entertain.
No, not at all. Well, I mean, it does entertain. I'm not expecting it to, but it does.
Yeah. So, I mean, your criticism of this performance art game was that it was not entertaining, basically.
No, it was that it was dumb.
Okay.
Not that it was also not
entertaining. Find the name,
but
because you can't keep talking about this unless you have the name.
No, I'm not going to do that right now.
Wait,
it's right here. Well, I only have one hand, and I'm holding a knife in the other, and it's slippery and pointed at your crotch. It's called it is called Marina Abramovic is the performance artist, and the game is called Digital Marina Abramovic Institute.
See, I just think, and I gotta play this for myself, but it sounds like you're approaching it from the whole idea is to take something that's like, are you approaching this like a Flash game, or you're approaching this like you were going into a gallery?
No.
What's your mindset?
But that's not what it's like, though, because it is a game. So
Okay.
it's not just a place that you go into and exist in. It is a game that you have to do things in. So you don't have the choice to do other things. That's what's bad about it. It is trying to be a game, but it's trying to be a game that is saying I'm not a game. You know what I mean? As lots of performance art is, because performance art is completely legitimate, and there's good performance art, and then there's lots of bad performance art. That's just kind of like, look at me do performance art, and that's kind of what it's like. That's kind of what the feeling you get from it is. It's kind of like, look at this ridiculous Flash game I made that I actually like a lot.
Jordan's already got a candle in here. So you want to bring that over here?
No, not yet.
Oh, I'm knocking this fucker's tooth out.
But anyway, my back to the point. Flash games. They've had such an interesting sort of evolution and an interesting sort of thing. But I don't think that anyone outside of the world of Flash games has recognized their sort of legitimacy as this subculture art form.
Who's in the world of Flash games?
Those that create them and play them.
Okay.
You and me and the guys that run Newgrounds and all that stuff.
Those guys are not approaching that as artists.
Well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They appreciate it for its existence rather than just for sheer, they appreciate it enough for what it is to aggregate it rather than just say, it's a thing that exists, that rather than just say it's just a game,
Yes.
because I think that only those that are very much committed to things will collect it into one place in order to be shared. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you have more words than that?
No.
Okay.
Just maybe.
Am I on the show alone tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that's shitty.
Alright, we're going to do a segment, guys, called See If That URL Exists. Sometimes you type in the wrong URL and it comes up, it's some, random, it's an automatically generated thing. That's
Yeah,
that
like
name.
when I type in Goofle instead of Google.
And it's like Goofle, and then you do Goople, and it's the same one, but it's called Goople instead of Goofle.
Crazy.
But some of these things, it turns out, actually are for real websites, and we're gonna check out to see what one of these is right now. And usually, I want commenters to throw these out, and but no one's commenting
Brian, you're not on
tonight.
camera over there. I mean, use your computer.
What? But people need to see it on here.
The
No,
camera.
we're going here. We're doing it like this.
Oh.
So Sam, what's a website we should look up?
I would like to look up.
Well, let's try Goofle because you just said it.
Okay, Goofle.com.
Goofle.com.
Owned by Carl Co. Incorporated.
Huh.
So this guy's just trying. This is just him trying to sell Goofle. Look how many people have been to Goofle, though.
Tons of people have been to Goofle. Look at that.
That's crazy.
And I said Goople, so let's check out
Yeah,
Goople.
try Google. Excuse me.
Goople looks like it's broken. It's just white.
That's racist.
Okay, what should I look up?
I would like to look up rotating.com.
Rotating.com.
Oh yeah, see, it's just a regular
It's a
domain.
Regular one.
It's a stand-in.
Yeah, it's a stand-in. So if we did then spinning.com,
Whoa.
maybe it
Hope
would
it's
be
bikes.
the same exact one.
No.
Oh, wait, it is
creators
bikes.
of indoor cycling.
Oh, good call. It is bikes. Spinning.com.
All right, let's try helicoptersuicide.com. Wait, you gotta get rid of the second .com there. Well, there's helicoptersuicide.com, which has a freaking thing. Oh,
no helicopter suicide. If you're in a band called Helicopter Suicide, ripe for the picking.
what was my sweet band name? Oh, type in IamTheSqueak.com.
I
I
am
am the squeaking.
IamTheSqueaking.com.
squeaking.com. That's Sam's new band that he's
It's my
starting.
new band.
Nope, no, I am
Oh my
thesqueaking.com.
God,
Let's find a good one. Name an animal.
Jordan, name an animal. Marmoset.
It was Jordan. What were you going to say? Wombat.
Wombat.
Wombat.com. Casa del Wombat.
Oh, good one.
There it is.
Nice.
What is this? Cum dignati odium.
Dignitate.
That's Latin.
That is Latin.
We got some gifts down here of this wombat smoking a cigar and drinking a martini.
Awesome.
So we have 3 tabs here: Casa de Wombat, which is what we're on, like Del Wombat, and Real Wombats, and Daisy.
Daisy! Daisy!
Okay, we know what... let's do real wombats because we know what that's going to be, I think. Here are some real wombats. And we have pictures, or we could play the slideshow. But we're going to go through them one by one, I think. So here's some real wombats. There's a kid holding a wombat. Real wombats. And this, I don't know who the Wombat Warren is, but that's what this is a picture of.
I like to think that wombats and
There's a happy wombat.
and koalas have evil nocturnal wars. You know what I mean? They just they go at each other when no one else is looking. Deep under the outback sand.
Here are some
In a
biddies
war
with
way or
wombats.
sexy?
Oh
In
wait,
a
they're
war
too young
way.
to be biddies. They're like 12.
They're tweens, Brian.
Twins have
Tweens.
to start somewhere.
Tweens with wombats. Alright, now that we've seen that, let's go see Daisy.
Daisy.
Daisy adopted me in 2005 after I moved in next door.
Daisy's a dog.
Daisy's a
It's
dog.
not a wombat.
That's not a wombat. That's a dog dressed like a pirate.
Which is cool in its own right, but not a wombat.
Maybe that's why the other one was called Real Wombats, because Daisy's a fake wombat.
Daisy, that's probably why. Good call, Brian.
After I moved in next door. Soon she was spending more time with me than with her owner. In 2007, she was given to me. Daisy was a golden chow. The mix of a chow dog and a golden retriever. As soon as you say Daisy adopted me in 2005, instead of I adopted this dog, I know that you're a tool.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Yeah.
I would like to see what's on MagicSchoolBus.com.
She loved riding in the car, being with me every day. Passed away on September 1, 2012.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, so this is just pictures of her dog.
Sweet,
dead.
but depressing.
Wearing a... What is that?
That's a M hat. It's
M.
Michigan. That looks like University of Michigan.
So someone made this website. This is still wombat.com/home/daisy.html number 15.
It's whoever owns Wombat.com. You know, you can do whatever you want with a website. I could buy,
I know.
like, you know, slapchapstick.com and do whatever I want with it.
.com.
You wouldn't just have to slap chips.
No.
There, yeah, you could buy it. There it is. Alright, well that's that segment, guys.
Maybe I said slapchapstick because of slapstick.
I think because there was chapstick on the table.
I don't see that.
Well, maybe not. Well, whatever. That's that segment, guys.
Good job, everyone.
We're gonna do that every week from now on. We saw it here first.
I might have to get my.
Fuck that
Oh my
shit.
God! Careful, Brian. I might have to get my drill for this one part of my pumpkin.
You gotta drill your pumpkin.
Yeah, I might drill it. No. Anyway, what else? What time is it? Oh my God! We only got 10 minutes in the show left.
Yeah,
Oh
what the fuck
shoot!
is that shit?
We gotta finish these pumpkins.
I need to clean the Sharpie lines off of parts of mine. Yeah, so I think the only alcohol we all have lying around is the beer that my friend left here when
That
he
will not work.
crashed here.
That will not work.
No?
No. Yes.
Yeah, hand sanitizer.
I only have to cut out the nose, and then I gotta stop detailing. I'm just like detailing the pumpkin.
Given the deets.
I'm giving it the deeds. Anyway, oh shoot! I know there's other stuff to talk about. What other movies are coming out? There's a movie coming out. Well, actually, is out in select theaters called 12 Years a Slave, starring that guy that I can't pronounce his name, and also has some other people in it. And it's supposed to be like the best movie ever, so you should go see that. Ender's Game comes out this Friday.
Me and Jordan have not read Ender's Game. That's me and our producer, Jordan Tower, who's over here carving a pumpkin
I'm
off
done with
camera.
my pumpkin.
She finished her pumpkin.
Are you bragging? Is that what you're
You
doing?
think you're better than us?
No, my pumpkin's terrible.
Anyway, Ender's Game comes out based off the very popular book
Well, that me
By
and
or-
our producer, Jordan Tower, have not read.
Orson Scott Card. One of my favorite books.
And I've always wanted to read it, but I just never have.
It's pretty enjoyable. Anyway, I'm really excited to see this movie because it has the potential to be good, but also the potential to be bad. And they made good choices with casting, and it looks pretty sweet. And like visual effects are at the point now where I think they could actually do it acceptably. Do some of the scenes justice. And I think Orson Scott Card was there for parts of filming. He was sort of consulting on the script and direction and stuff like that. So I think it has the actual potential to be a really cool movie, and to not live up to, but respectfully pay homage to.
Definitely not live up to.
Respectfully pay homage to the book, and so I'm very hopeful and enthusiastic about that. The Hobbit, the second Hobbit movie comes out this December, and I'm, like I was with the first Hobbit, optimistic and excited. I was not disappointed by the first Hobbit movie, as so many people were. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought, sure.
By so many people, you mean me. Most people liked it except for me.
It took some liberties.
And I warmed up to it even.
I think it held up for what it is. And I think that it was trying not to be something that people expected it to be, which was, sort of this attempt at masterpiece. You know what I mean? It was, and The Hobbit is a goofy book. There's lots of funny stuff in it. That's sort of like, it's much more fantastical than Lord of the Rings. It's very much a fantasy story where Lord of the Rings is much more of a war story, and sort of this journey of finding self and whatnot. And so I think that's why The Hobbit sort of succeeded. And by the way, it's the top of the 9th inning right now, and the Red Sox are still up 3-1. Anyway, so The Hobbit comes out. Benjamin Cumberbund is the Benjamin Cumberbund is the Dragon Smog, and there were some funny pictures of him doing screen capture stuff for that on the internet the other day. Also in movies, Tom Hiddleston, the guy that plays Loki, is like totally the man, and is a good dancer. And also does funny impressions of people.
Okay, cool. How do you make circles? Because I'm doing everything with stabbing.
That's what I'm doing too. Oh, well, that's a really small. So you gotta have like a tiny knife for that. That's why. Right?
That's why I was looking for a tiny knife. Where'd our paring knife go?
They're all there. We didn't have one. They're all like over there. That's why I'm getting my drill. Do this guy. Oh, Pumpkin is furling. All right, Brian, talk. That's not talking.
Today I got a text message from a friend of mine who was asking me if I wanted to go to my 5th high school reunion, which seems like a giant waste. But then I thought of what else I might be doing that night, and that would probably be a giant waste too. And I don't know, I kind of might go, and I kind of hate myself for even considering it.
Yeah, you should, you jerk.
Yeah. Thank you, Jordan.
You're welcome. Bottom of the 9th.
So, what else is going on?
Nothing. I don't fucking know.
Nothing's going on. Why are you so negative tonight? What's wrong with you?
He's very grumpy.
You're just so grumpy.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you fucking guys live with me.
I'm gonna drill this guy now. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
Oh yeah, that's nice. It's just so easy. It's like an egg beater. Anyway, Brian, do we have any comments?
No.
No comments? Did
No.
anyone watch the show today?
I think so.
That's okay.
You savored your moment more than I did.
What are you talking about? Yeah, I did. This is just the pumpkin show. You know, every once in a while, we'll have a calm, quiet show where not a lot of stuff happens. And Brian's in a bad mood,
Yeah,
even though that's most shows.
I just had a shitty day.
You
Pain
had
in the
you had
ass.
to do loan entrance counseling.
I had to do loan entrance counseling for the second time because they fucked it up the first time. Well, I guess officially I fucked it up, but I still blame them.
So I feel like we should go back to inviting people to the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Because more people watched it then. You know, I feel like people forget that we exist.
Yeah.
I feel like people just forget that I'm alive, you know? Sometimes, world, do you even know that I'm here? Are you listening to me? Can you even hear me?
Does Santa Claus watch me poop?
Probably. But just you. Just you.
What is Santa Claus? Does Santa Claus care if you masturbate?
No.
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 That is a different kind of moral judgment than naughty and nice.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not being mean to anybody. It's not naughty at all. I mean,
So Santa's judgment calls are based completely on if there is a victim or not.
yeah, totally.
Okay.
What about the Halloween Santa, though? The one that brings you candy?
He's he doesn't. That's not about naughty and nice. That's about if you have been worshiping Satan or not.
Oh, my mistake, of course. I'm so silly. I love cutting the top off this like shaving down the top of the
Oh, yeah.
pumpkin. It's just so soft. It's like cutting through an eggplant.
Yeah. What would happen if you just ate that raw? What would it taste like?
Vegetable. It's not particularly good. It's not really bad either.
It's a little gross.
My pumpkin is done. Oh wait, no, it's not. I forgot the eye wrinkles.
Mine's done. I just gotta clean the sharpie marks off. Thank you. Thanks to yours, Jordan.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
This is
It's actually kind of nasty. It leaves a bad aftertaste.
Yeah, it does. Don't eat the pumpkins, guys.
Don't eat raw pumpkin.
We're gonna make roasted pumpkin seeds a little bit later, and they're gonna be delicious. I still think we should make cinnamon sugar ones.
Well, we can make several kinds of ones because we have several pumpkins worth.
I made
What
one
are-
time
what are
ones
other
with that had cayenne and honey.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it was
I
awesome.
want to do garlic and chili pie.
Yeah, that sounds good too. Get out of there. It's too little. Stab it with the big one.
She said all those things.
I know.
In that same order.
Let's sing some comments. Let's sing the newspaper. So no one will watch the show tonight, everybody. So we're gonna sing the newspaper instead because we don't have any comments. So
National Geographic. Well, should we get a beat?
yeah, sorry, I should get an instrument. I'm just trying to cut
No.
this guy's
You know what?
voice
Instead
off.
of doing that, I'm gonna pull up a beat. I'm gonna make a beat in GarageBand
Okay, do it.
real quick. Quickie beat. I'm gonna sing to a backing track.
That's the only way I know how to sing. Yeah, I'll probably come through that. Hey everybody, if you watch the show later on, post pictures of your Halloween costumes and/or pumpkins on our Facebook page.
Guys, my Halloween costume was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, we had Halloween costumes. I was apparently the ghost of Obamacare, according to Christine.
Well, because the guy was off a pizza box, right?
Yeah, and he kind of looked like Obama, except he didn't really, but he did. But not. I mean, he looked like any skinny dude with short hair. You know. Also, he was white.
He was off a pizza box. You can't really tell.
You could tell from the shape of his head.
Are you a phrenologist?
No, he was just a white dude.
This is taking a lot longer than I thought it was going. So I guess my computer fucking sucks. It's sucking fucks.
Yeah. Oh, am I breaking all his teeth right now? Don't you hate it when you're cutting your pumpkin out and you get that one little sliver that you can't get? Ah, I got it. Suck it, sliver.
I'm not gonna look at what I'm putting down.
Do it!
No,
Or
no.
don't do it.
Woohoo! Red Sox won.
Yay! Red Sox won.
What's that now?
It's 3-2. I'm done. Ooh, that's very fragrant.
Mm-hmm.
Get that tiny knife out. All right. Man, we got some dead air tonight, eh?
Woohoo!
No, that's not a good thing.
I was trying to fill the dead air.
Oh, okay, thank you. It's our cat Freya. She's on that chair over there. She likes to play with a string. Piece of twirn. You got a thing, Brian? Brian?
Yeah.
Thought you weren't looking at it. Nice. National Geographic Entertainment presents Jerusalem. What the hell is that?
I don't like that part.
Now showing at the Mugar Omni Theater.
Serena Abellina's accent to the stage began with a Pippi movement.
It was by no means a routine play, but it was the kind you could essentially pencil Jose Iglesias in for.
Age 16, hometown Abilene, and grew up in Walpen.
Express your sympathy. View the Boston Globe's complete list of death notices on an online guest book at Boston.com/obituaries.
Drew's defense gets the job done. Shortstop makes up for the struggles at plate.
Wow, wait, this is the same as that. I'm not reading that. Net posted at the table. The arts generally have not been around the table when decisions have been made. Holly, I think it's because of the history in Boston, in particular, of private philanthropy really carrying the arts sector.
Automotive, our preview 2014 and 2015 models part 1. By George Kennedy, we are only several months from 2014, but many automakers are already thinking about 2015.
I have so many favorites, but right now I'm loving a Roman statue known as the Pearl of Forest. She is so very beautiful.
All new 2013 Nissan Sentras S. Automatic power windows, locks and motors, AC, keyless entry, CD audio, and more.
Charles River Museum of Industry and Innovation. watches and clocks. Exhibit the watches and clocks. Exhibit has the largest public collection of Waltham watches in the world.
Failing interest in town meeting. Officials looking to raise attendance. Kingston supporters insist that the town's open town meeting is the truest form of democracy, but even they wonder how democratic it is when meeting attendance dwindles and big decisions are made by small numbers.
Eastern Mediterranean from 679 includes 7-night cruise aboard Royal Caribbean's Splendor of the Seas, itinerary Venice, Kodor, Corfu, Athens, Mykonos, Argos, Sotol, Venice, upgrade to a balcony stateroom starting from $79 per day, add scenic horseback ride to Corfu from $149.
Green book included. Green brush cleaning. Clearing machines. Goats tackle jobs to 30 for human crews. Goatscaping co-founders. Elaine Philbrick and Jim Cormier check on workers clearing a hillside. Black Rock Country Club in Hingham.
Calm companions on the trail. These llamas look to take you for a walk. By Patricia Harris Granby. When I arrived at Pineham Farm, I found that my hiking companion for the morning would be Stone, a mature fellow with a few gray streaks in his dark locks.
Brockton Liberty Tree story lives on. Clones, remnants, sapling of a call arbory landmark. Brockton's towering Liberty Tree met its end in a wood chipper a decade ago. A victim of the insects that ate at its core.
A sign on the wall reads, I get high on bluegrass. There's no alcohol in this dry country, but you can have a cup of instant coffee for a donation and a bag of popcorn.
Town citing errors, file flood zone appeals. Consulting engineers believe they have found errors in a new federal flood maps of Marshfield, one of which was so obvious, according to a press release issued by the Board of Selectmen.
It was low tide when we stopped for a final look at the sweeping salt marsh, now buzzing with activity. Low tide is the best time to be here when the wild things are most active and visible.
A world of food around the corner at Benefit. Dedham Rotary Club presented Tanya Caddio. Said she remembers over 10 years ago when the Rotary's charity event used to consist mainly of an auction and raffles with little buffet table of food on the side. Not
Table of food.
Yes,
Table of food on the side. It's a buffet.
Universal food at the Rotary Club. Universal food.
Universal food
at the Rotary
Club.
There you go, guys.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching our shitty show tonight. Be sure to watch us next week when we may have some subject matter to talk about. And
don't forget that there's a universe of food at the Rotary Club.
also, there's a universe of food at the Rotary Club. And that guy named Rock with the gray streaks. And Boston.com, you can sign their obituary guest book.
You're not going to
Just-
show your pumpkins?
Just in case.
Oh yeah, show your.
Oh,
pumpkin.
yeah. Sorry, I got to show my pumpkin.
I showed mine already.
Here's my pumpkin. Whoa! So scary.
Mine's just dead.
Here, wait. Let's light him and turn the lights off.
Oh, Jordan's got us hooked up.
Light it up. You gotta take the top off,
Only-
dude. You gotta
only-
take the top off.
Only one at a
Brandon,
time.
you gotta put it in the pumpkin first.
Who said that?
Everybody.
Everyone ever.
We only have one candle?
No,
Yeah,
I have a
Why are
candle
you
in my
in
pumpkin.
there?
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to put the top. There we go.
I can't finger slip it.
Seriously?
No.
Light, you bastard! I killed all the oxygen in there.
I think the dude downstairs is just like slaughtering his cello.
It's broken.
Oh, it's not.
I don't know what to tell you. I think I ran out of gas.
Want me to get you another lighter?
I don't know if there is another one.
Maybe there's the old one. Don't do that!
Yeah, it's broken.
Do you want a smaller lighter?
Yeah, sure.
Where is it?
I don't know.
You have one.
I don't know where it is.
It's in the bathroom.
Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. We'll see you next week. Be sure to watch the show. We're going to have some stuff to talk about. We'll post pictures of our pumpkins on the place with the posts and the paste book. And
Ah, I broke his tooth off! Sorry,
Sorry,
dude. I punched your mouth out.
Oh, yeah. All right. Good night, everyone.
I found it.